You know, there's something nobody tells you about retirement. The idea that you should stop working completely at 60 or 65 might be one of the biggest myths of modern life. Think about it. For decades, we've been sold this dream of retirement, the gold watch, the beachfront condo, the endless days of relaxation. But here's the truth. For many people, that dream doesn't just feel unfulfilling. It can actually be harmful. Now, don't get me wrong. If you've worked hard your whole life, you absolutely deserve time to enjoy yourself. But what if I told you that continuing to earn money, not because you have to, but because you want to, could be the key to staying sharper, happier, and even healthier as you age? That's what we're going to talk about today, because retirement, the way it's been sold to us, might just be a scam. Let's start with the first reason you might want to keep earning after 60. Your brain needs it. Research shows that staying mentally engaged, especially through meaningful work, can help stave off cognitive decline. Think about it like this. Your brain is a muscle. If you stop using it, it weakens. But if you keep challenging it, whether through part-time work, consulting, or even starting a small business, you're giving your mind the workout it needs to stay sharp. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I'm tired. I've worked hard. Don't I deserve a break? Of course you do. But here's the thing. You don't have to grind like you did in your 40s. The goal isn't to recreate the stress of your old job. It's about finding something that energizes you, whether that's turning a hobby into income, mentoring younger professionals, or working just enough to keep your mind active without burning you out. Take my friend Linda, for example. She retired at 62 from her job as a school administrator, thinking she'd finally have time to relax. But after 6 months, she found herself bored, restless, and even a little lonely. So she started tutoring kids in her neighborhood, just a few hours a week. Not only did it give her a sense of purpose, but she realized she was making a real difference. And the extra money? That didn't hurt either. Which brings me to the second big reason to keep earning: financial peace of mind. Let's be honest, no matter how well you've saved, there's always that little voice in the back of your head wondering, what if I outlive my money? Inflation, unexpected medical bills, even helping out family members, these things can add up fast. But here's the good news. You don't need a full-time salary to make a difference. Even an extra $500 or $1,000 a month can take the pressure off your savings and let you enjoy retirement on your terms. And here's something else most people don't talk about. Work keeps you socially connected. One of the hardest parts of retirement isn't the lack of work, it's the lack of daily interactions. When you stop working, you can lose touch with colleagues, clients, even the casual conversations that make life interesting. But when you keep some kind of work in your life, whether it's freelancing, volunteering, or running a small Etsy shop, you stay plugged into the world. You meet new people. You have stories to tell. You feel relevant. Now, I'm not saying you should keep working just for the sake of working. The key is to find something that aligns with your interests, your energy level, and your goals. Maybe it's monetizing a skill you've always had but never charged for. Maybe it's turning your decades of experience into a consulting gig where you set your own hours. Or maybe it's something completely new, a passion project that happens to bring in a little income. So far, we've talked about how continuing to earn can keep your brain sharp, ease financial worries, and help you stay socially connected. But there's more to it, like how work can actually boost your physical health and even redefine what retirement means for you. So let's keep going and explore why stepping away from traditional retirement might be the best decision you ever make. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you. Working later in life isn't just good for your wallet or your brain. It can actually help you live longer. That's right. Studies show that people who stay engaged in meaningful work tend to have better physical health as they age. Think about it. When you have a reason to get up in the morning, you move more, you stay active, and you're less likely to fall into that sedentary rut that can speed up aging. But here's the catch. It has to be the right kind of work. Nobody's saying you should keep grinding at a job you hate just for the paycheck. The goal is to find something that feels fulfilling, not draining. Maybe it's teaching a skill you've mastered over the years. Maybe it's writing that book you've always talked about. Or maybe it's something as simple as helping out at a local business a few days a week. The key is that it should add to your life, not subtract from it. Take my neighbor Ray. After retiring from his engineering job, he started helping small businesses in his town with their tech problems, just 10 to 15 hours a week. Not only did it keep his problem-solving skills sharp, but he realized something amazing. He was walking more, standing more, and even sleeping better because he had structure to his days. And when his old colleagues asked if he missed retirement, he'd laugh and say, "This is retirement, just on my terms." Now let's tackle one of the biggest myths about working after 60, that you're taking jobs away from younger people. That's simply not true. In fact, what you bring to the table is something no 25-year-old can match. Decades of real-world experience. Whether it's consulting, mentoring, or even starting a small business, you're not competing with younger workers. You're complementing them. Think about all the mistakes you've learned from over the years. Think about the wisdom you've accumulated. That's valuable. That's marketable. And here's something else to consider. Today's economy is perfect for semi-retirement. With remote work, gig opportunities, and the ability to monetize almost any skill online, you've got options previous generations could only dream of. You could be coaching clients over Zoom from your living room, selling handmade crafts online without ever leaving home, renting out that spare room on your terms, getting paid to share your expertise through blogs or videos. Hey, just like this one. The beauty of this stage of life. You get to decide what work looks like. No more 40-hour weeks unless you want them. No more office politics unless you choose to engage. You can work seasonally, project by project, or just enough to keep things interesting. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what if I don't have any marketable skills? Oh, please. After 60 years on this planet, you're sitting on a gold mine of knowledge. Maybe it's the family recipes everyone begs you to make, the handyman skills you've used for decades, the organizational tricks that kept your household running, the career insights from your industry. Nothing is too small to monetize these days. I recently met a woman who makes $300 a month teaching people how to organize their closets, something she'd been doing for free for friends for years. But here's the most important part. This isn't about money. Not really. It's about staying engaged with life. It's about waking up with purpose. It's about proving to yourself that you've still got so much to offer. Because when you stop contributing, when you stop feeling needed, that's when aging really starts to take its toll. Now we've covered how working can boost your health, why you're not taking opportunities from younger people, and how today's economy makes flexible work easier than ever. But there's one more crucial piece to this puzzle: how to actually get started without overwhelming yourself. That's exactly what we'll dive into next. So now that we've talked about why keeping some work in your life after 60 can be so powerful for your brain, your body, your finances, and your sense of purpose, let's get practical. How do you actually make this work without it feeling like, well, work? First, start by asking yourself one simple question: what would I do even if I weren't getting paid for it? That's usually where your best opportunity lies. Maybe it's gardening, woodworking, helping people with their taxes, or sharing your knowledge about local history. The things that come so naturally to you that you don't even think of them as skills are often the most valuable to others. Here's how to turn that into income without the stress of a traditional job. Start small. There's no rule saying you have to launch a full-blown business. Try babysitting your grandkids' friends for a few hours a week. Sell your famous jam at the farmer's market once a month. Offer to help neighbors with their computer problems. These micro jobs let you test the waters without commitment. Use what you already have. That spare room. Could it be an Airbnb? Those boxes of old records. Maybe they're collectibles. Your lifetime of photos. You could scan and restore them for others. Look around your home. You're probably sitting on assets you've never considered monetizing. Make technology work for you. I know, technology can be frustrating, but today's apps are designed to be senior-friendly. With a little practice, you could use Facebook Marketplace to sell items, teach via Zoom. Grandkids can help set it up. Get paid through simple apps like Venmo. You don't need to be a tech whiz, just willing to learn a few basics. Set clear boundaries. This is the joy of working after 60. You make the rules. Decide in advance how many hours per week you'll work, what types of jobs, clients you'll take when you're closed for business. Unlike your younger years, you're not building a career, you're enhancing your retirement. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What if you try something and don't like it? That's the beauty of this stage of life. You can quit, pivot, try something completely different next month. There are no penalties for changing your mind after 60. Here's what I want you to remember. Retirement wasn't designed for the 30-plus years many of us now get to enjoy. The traditional idea of completely stopping work at 65 comes from a time when people didn't live much past that age. Today, you could have decades of vibrant life ahead. Why spend them on permanent vacation when you could be making money, making a difference, and staying engaged on your own terms? So here's my challenge to you. This week, brainstorm one way. No matter how small, you could start earning again. Maybe it's listing those unused tools for rent, offering to walk dogs in your neighborhood, hosting a how-to workshop at the community center. Don't overthink it. Just take one small step. I'd love to hear what you come up with. Drop a comment below sharing your ideas or experiences about working after 60. And if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest conversations about making the most of life after retirement age. Remember, retirement isn't about stopping, it's about starting the next exciting chapter on your terms. Here's to your health, your wealth, and your continued relevance in this world. You've still got so much to give. Now go out there and prove it to yourself. Until next time, reminding you that the best years aren't behind you. They're whatever years you decide to make great. See you soon. Do subscribe to keep the circle growing.